Have you ever felt a chill run down your spine even on the hottest day? That's fear, creeping in like a shadow. It's the feeling you get when you hear a twig snap in the dead of night, or the floorboard creak in an empty house. Now, imagine that feeling magnified tenfold, deep in the heart of the woods, where a mansion stands, shrouded in secrets and sorrow. Locals say the mansion is cursed, haunted by the ghosts of its past. They whisper tales of an evil nurse, her white uniform stained crimson, her eyes burning with a cold, vengeful light. They say she roams the halls at night, seeking to trap the living in her web of despair. The mansion sits at the end of a long, winding dirt road, swallowed by the woods. The air grows heavy as you approach, thick with the scent of decay and the weight of unseen eyes. The old folks around here, they remember. They remember a time when the mansion wasn't a decaying husk. It was once a place of grandeur, a beacon of hope in the wilderness. They called it Blackwood Manor, and it was run by a kind woman named Eleanor, a nurse who dedicated her life to healing the sick and injured. Eleanor was loved by all. She was a beacon of light in a world often shrouded in darkness. She tended to the sick, comforted the dying, and brought hope to the hopeless. But Blackwood Manor held a darkness of its own, a darkness that would soon consume Eleanor and twist her compassionate heart into something sinister. It started with whispers, strange occurrences, dismissed as tricks of the wind or figments of an overactive imagination. Objects moved, shadows flickered, and disembodied whispers echoed through the halls. Then, people started to disappear.
Their families, desperate for answers, would search the woods, but they found nothing. The whispers grew louder, accusing, blaming Eleanor for the disappearances.
Eleanor, once a symbol of hope, became a figure of fear and suspicion. The townsfolk, once eager for her help, now avoided her gaze, their whispers following her like shadows. The weight of their accusations, the disappearances she couldn't explain, began to crush her spirit.
Then, tragedy struck. A fire, swift and merciless, ripped through Blackwood Manor. The flames consumed everything in their path, leaving behind only ash and ruin. When the smoke cleared, they found Eleanor clutching a charred locket, the only remnant of her former life.
Some whispered that the fire was no accident, that it was Eleanor's punishment for the disappearances. The fire had consumed Blackwood Manor, leaving behind a charred skeleton, a haunting reminder of its tragic past. Eleanor, broken and consumed by grief, retreated into the shadows, haunted by the whispers and accusations of the townsfolk. She wandered the woods, a shell of her former self, seeking solace in the silence of the trees.
It was there in the heart of the woods that I encountered something sinister, something ancient and evil. The entity, drawn to my pain and despair, offered me a way out, a chance for revenge. It promised me power, the ability to make those who had wronged me pay. All I had to do was make a pact with darkness.
Driven by grief and consumed by vengeance, Eleanor accepted. Her white uniform, once a symbol of healing, became a shroud of fear. Eleanor, the kind nurse, was gone, replaced by something far more sinister. The disappearances, which had stopped after the fire, began anew, but this time, they were different. There was a palpable sense of dread, a chilling fear that permeated the woods surrounding Blackwood Manor. Those who dared to venture too close spoke of a ghostly figure in a nurse's uniform, her eyes glowing with an eerie light, her laughter a chilling symphony of madness and despair.
One night, a group of teenagers, emboldened by bravado and ignorance, decided to explore the ruins of Blackwood Manor. They wanted to see for themselves if the legends were true, to catch a glimpse of the ghostly nurse that haunted the woods. They entered the dilapidated mansion, their laughter echoing through the empty halls, oblivious to the danger that lurked in the shadows.
They heard a noise, a soft, mournful cry coming from the old nursery. As they approached the room, the temperature dropped, and a wave of icy dread washed over them. The door creaked open, revealing a shadowy figure standing by the window, her back to them. The teenagers screamed and ran, their footsteps echoing through the empty halls of Blackwood Manor. They didn't stop running until they reached the edge of the woods, their hearts pounding in their chests. They never spoke of what they had seen that night, but the memory haunted their dreams, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurked in the heart of their town.
Blackwood Manor still stands, a decaying monument to tragedy and despair. The ghostly figure of Eleanor, the once kind nurse, is said to still roam the halls, seeking to trap the living in her web of sorrow and vengeance.
Her story serves as a chilling reminder that even the purest hearts can be corrupted by grief and despair. It's a warning to those who dare to venture into the woods, a plea to respect the hauntings of the past and to remember the pain that lingers long after the echoes of laughter have faded away. What stories do you whisper in the dark?